Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Vazhkai Payanam. This is the 17th episode. Okay, and this is in collaboration of Rukmani Trust and then Gold Art Foundation. Okay, the series called Vazhkai Payanam, wherein we have some very interesting knowledge sharing sessions. Okay, mostly the knowledge sharing sessions are basically from people's experiences that they have been dealing with. Okay, and this is for the students, beneficiaries of the Rukmani Trust and Gold Heart Foundation, where we have a lot of students who are just getting graduated, getting into their jobs. And so all of these topics are just going to be of use to the students primarily. Okay, so when they are starting their professional career, there are a lot of inputs. There are certain things which are not taught in the colleges, okay, which is actually coming out of experience. So this is where actually experienced speakers join us, they guide, they give their inputs, okay, wherein the students take up this knowledge and then take it forward, which is going to help them. Now, these sessions are going to be this obviously of no profit motive. This is going to be live streamed in YouTube, okay, and this is going to be there. And then we are just going to suggest this content to the students who are just part of the trust, actually, whoever are joining later at different points of time. And so this is going to be a useful session. Now, welcome all now to the students. Thanks for showing so much of interest. So this has been a very interesting topic. Uh, we are sure that all of us will be benefited from this session. Now over to the speaker today. So we have yet another interesting guest today. Okay, Kripali Kulkarni, who's joined us today. She carries a very rich experience. She is basically a project management professional, okay, from a reputed organization. Okay, she is a management graduate. So this is just to give a small background. She herself also will introduce. But then just to give a background, why it is more suitable that she is giving this topic. Okay, so this is on the personal development, okay, and grooming. Okay, so which is a very important topic. You cannot do away with this topic all throughout your professional career. Okay, so this topic is going to be of topmost important, even if you are a graduate or if you are working professional or whatever. And when you are meeting someone, it's the most important topic there. And then so she's here to help us out. As part of her profession, she's been interacting with so many people, okay, and then dealing with different kinds of people with different mindsets. She's been guiding as a project manager, okay, towards the success. Okay, so she's more apt actually to talk on this topic, not spending too much of time. Kripali, over to you. Welcome to the session. Okay, thanks for joining us, spending your time here. Okay, over to you now.
Thank you very much, Sai. I don't think I need further introduction on that. You've done a great job doing it. Um, but yes, I'm just like all of you, like every student out there on this call, whoever is watching this. Um, I would like to begin by saying that we all, whoever is there, whether experienced uh, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of experience, we have all been into this space of not knowing where to start and not knowing what exactly does this personality development or grooming really means. Had it been like a school or college topic or a subject, it would have been great. At least that's what I feel. Coming all of these years and into this profession of being a project manager, where I have to deal with every single person day in day out onto different projects and to different stakeholders that I talk to and communicate. So on that note, I really have a question to ask you all, that if you meet someone, anyone, in your professional setting, whether it's school, college, whether it is that you're visiting a relative or you're going somewhere, right? How long does it take that you think for a person to form an opinion about you? And I want you to mention it in the chats. Just whether it's a minute, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 to 4 seconds. What is it? What do you think? Okay. So we do have some answers coming in. And to your surprise, it just takes about 7 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds of time to form an opinion. And it's not about, you haven't even opened your mouth. You haven't even greeted. You haven't even said anything. You've just walked into that space, right? Either you've walked into the classroom and or you've walked into an interview, you've walked into an office space, you've walked into um, let's say in some office that you want to get your work done. Now, if 5 to 7 seconds is something that the person opposite to you is forming an opinion, then I think that that effectively means that we're going to have to work onto creating that opinion, not for somebody else, but for ourselves, correct? And I think it is not just about how you look. Looks are deceptive, and every person looks different. It's all about how you carry yourself into that space. Now, think about a scenario where, let's say, you have a 7:30 a.m. lecture. I don't know if you folks still have it. At least when I was in college, we used to have a 7:30 a.m. lecture, and 90% of us who used to reach this lecture, half sleepy, half droopy, and not sure that we have had enough sleep or not. There's a background noise. Okay. So we were not sure that whether we'll reach that lecture or not. But at least back in the day, we used to have a 75% attendance requirement, and that used to be mandatory. So reaching that 7:30 a.m. lecture was very important. Now, what do you think that the lecturer, the teacher would be, what her opinion or his opinion would be? When we reached the class, the teacher also had to reach, right? So, what do you think? And you can mention it in the chats that when you first looked at the teacher, you yourself are sleepy, groggy, upset that you had to travel so much for that 7:30 a.m. class. But what do you think that you first saw the teacher standing in front of you? What would your opinion would have been looking at that person? He or she doesn't matter. You can mention it in chats quickly. Yeah, I mean, teacher, right? So of course, whether that teacher is willing to share knowledge, enthusiastic or not, great. But at least my first opinion was, oh my God, my first class in my graduation used to be a mathematics class for some reason, and it was taken by a female teacher. So I used to always think, how can she be dressed so appropriately? How can she have a smiling face at a 7:30 a.m. class where she has reached before us and she's standing there waiting for us to barge in into the classes? How can she be smiling? How can she be so positive when I'm sure that, and today I can think of it, then I'm sure that she had so many chores to be completed at home. She had to travel all the way to the college. So what is it that takes for that person to be so happy, cheerful, so that the students opposite do not feel like disappointed? Oh my God, the teacher is so cranky, the teacher is not really in a happy mood, but she always was. It made our day. That was the first face that we saw when we entered the college. Of course, not exact first, the guard was the first one, but she was the first face to look at, and she was always pleasant. That made me think over the time, the way that I went into spaces, whether it's college, whether it's office, whether it's different organizations that I've worked with, that your first impressions last. Now, that's not everything, okay, but they last. People form an opinion. Ah, okay, she's always so tired in the morning when she comes to office, or she is over chirpy every single day in the office when she comes into the office. Or maybe I bring out that impression intentionally, and let's note that word intentionally, that I bring that uh, opportunity in me to present myself to be confident. I want to walk into my office space. I want to walk into any kind of space early in the morning, late in the night, whatever time it is. Time doesn't matter, but I want to walk into that space feeling confident about myself, feeling confident about the part that I'm into that situation, I'm into that space, and I'm representing myself and nobody else at that particular point of time, right? So let's say that people looking at me are going to form an opinion within the first 5 to 7 seconds of time, and they are going to look at me and say, not say that, oh my god, she's ugly, she's beautiful. We don't care about any of that. What we care is she is confident. I own that space. That's my space that I own. Okay. So that's something that I want to take a pause and a moment for you folks to understand, that everything in terms of building a personality, grooming ourselves, starts with a confidence in ourselves. It's easier said than done, right? But maybe by the end of this session we could have a couple of small tips and tricks at the end, that we know that if we do this not once, not twice, but consistently, effectively, deliberately, and confidently every single day, then I will have a change in myself, my outlook, my presentation in somebody else, that I don't need to prepare that how am I going to talk, how am I going to walk into that space, right? Because you are being judged every single second that you're talking to another person, you're presenting in a room, you walk into a presentation, you're going into an interview, it doesn't matter. We all are being judged every single time. I sneeze, and do I say excuse me or not is my manners. I'm being judged for my manners. Whether I'm fidgeting with something while talking to someone, I'm being judged. Whether I am talking eye to eye or not, a conversation is held eye to eye, I'm being judged. My handshake is firm or not, that's getting judged too. So there's a lot of judging that's happening. And this, I'm talking in person. We're going to talk about the digital space as well, and that's where we are judged the most. I mean, uh, somebody like me coming to talk to you, I'm sure you would have done your own research. Sai did his own research, looking at my LinkedIn profile and checking that, oh, I have a PMP. I did not mention it to him. So, somewhere down the line, I know that whether it's my physical aura, whether it's my digital aura, I am being judged. So, I need to present myself confidently. Now, let's say that uh, and I want you folks to write in the chat. Pause me if you have any questions. We can take questions at the end as well, but I would be happy if you can ask me questions midway as well. Please pause, stop me, ask your questions. So when you meet a friend, and I'm saying that in your college, in your society, in your area nearby, the classes that you go to, or just random some friends that you travel by bus, train, taxi, auto, whatever, you meet your friend. Okay, and we are talking about friend, we're not talking about a colleague here. How would that person describe you? What do you think? And just let's say one word description of you by the friend. Could we have some chats? Yeah, I mean, okay, let me give an example. um, I meet someone like my friend, and I'm not telling anybody else specifically, I'm talking about a friend, and my friend would be, oh, she is always very fun and witty. So, what do you think that your friends talk about you in one word, maybe? Are you serious? Are you grumpy? Are you very fun? Are you confident? Are you silly? Yeah, could be anything. Happy, helping mindset guy, absolutely. Great. So let's just say that that's our starting point. And you know what the starting point is? It's not about what the other person is talking about you. It's definitely not that. It's about awareness about yourself. I know I am funny. I know I am witty. I know I have a helping mindset. I know that I am a very studious kind of a person. I know that I'm silly. I crack jokes, right? That's my self awareness. And that self awareness is not a copy paste mechanism. It's not that I am silly. I'm silly everywhere. No, I am with my friends. I'm allowed to be how I am. I am with my parents. I'm demanding. I am always crying. I want things. I'm arguing. That's for my parents. For my brother, it could be altogether different. For my sister, it could be altogether different. My friends, it's different. But when I walk into my office space, I probably am none of that, right? There I am confident. I know what I'm doing. I know my work. I bring in my experience. So when I walk into a meeting, I know that and I have called that meeting. And as a project manager, I'm going to meet a lot of different people for projects, and I'm going to meet a lot of stakeholders. So I know that in that space, I am going to be the person who is a subject matter expert, right? And that's why I'm holding that meeting. My presence is different. So the awareness starts from self. It's not about what others think about you. It's not about that. So when we say, and coming back to the topic now, uh, I've spoken about awareness. I've spoken about, let's say, being confident and being, having or carrying that aura. And now let's talk about this topic in itself. We are talking about personality development here, right? And grooming. So, what does personality development really mean? Are we born this way? We're not, right? We were babies some time ago, and I was always crying. Let's say I'm taking my own example. Crying for something. I wanted things from my parents. I wanted to do something. I did not want to do something. I did not want to study. That was something my personality was when I was a child. I grew up and I was in my teens. My personality was different. I was probably an angry child, or maybe a very self obsessed child, or maybe a very conscious person. I did not like the way that I looked. I did not like the way that I spoke. I felt that, the communication happens in English. I'm not confident about how people speak in English to me or how I respond to them. I felt that I don't understand the exact, let's say, the accent of other person. I don't understand the language in itself. Could be different things, but that was my personality when I was in teens. I came on from teens to college, from college to my first job, and from my first job to 15, 16 years now into the corporate world. Am I the same now? I am not. And it didn't happen just by chance. It happened with understanding what it takes to be into that space and to develop that personality and understanding certain thumb rules. And I'm glad I had a teacher, a mentor who guided me along the way, whole of my college years, and stepping into my first job as well. She was very kind in guiding. How do I get up from my seat? How do I sit down when somebody has asked me to sit down? How do I walk when I want to, and that those are conscious efforts. She's just going to tell me the pointers. I have to do it ultimately myself. And it took me all of these years to build that attitude, to build that personality, to be able to speak to you. And I'm not saying that everybody would like me today, and I don't want that. But you're here, you're listening to me. You don't have an option at the moment whether you like it or not. But then I am sure that I would have carried some kind of personality to you at the moment. And let's take a pause. What do you think that one word description could be when you first saw me talking? Where was it like I'm lecturing you, or was it like uh, I know something and that's why I'm speaking to you? Or what was your first impression of me? We are 24 minutes into the session now. What do you think your first impression is? And that's way more than 0 to 7 seconds, really. Let's just put comments. Yes. Sharing inputs. Yes. Thank you, Sai. You're being kind. Okay. All right. So, so you have your opinion, and I'm not questioning it, right? Good, bad, ugly. Thank you very much. Confident, and some of you are saying talking freely and very clearly. Of course. Do you think that happened overnight? So let me share my story a bit, and probably why I did not introduce myself at the beginning. And that's my professional story, which Sai mentioned. Okay, so you have an introduction. Somebody like me, Kripali, working into a corporate world, having 15 years of experience, being a project management professional. Yes, agree. But you don't know my backstory till the time I don't share with you. So let me share that with you. I come from a very small village, and a village where we had three different schools. One in uh, somebody is unmuted. Okay, thank you. So there were three schools, three different mediums of schools. One was English, one was Marathi, and one was Urdu. Okay, three schools only. So my parents had a very limited choice for selecting the schools, and for some reason they thought that let us put her into an English medium school. Now think about it: a small village in Maharashtra where I am enrolled into an English medium school. I'm going to that school. I'm expected to learn English. I'm expected to be as good as somebody out there who is required to learn that particular language. And let's say that the communication language these days, fortunately or unfortunately, is English across the globe. And of course, there could be certain countries who are specific to their language, whether it's Germany, whether it's France, whether it's Italy, whether it's some states within India as well. But let's say that the common communication language in the corporate world out there is English. Okay, so let's ride on to that assumption at the moment so that we don't have conflicts on thoughts there. So a very small village English medium school. I go to that school. Teachers teach us in English, explain it to us in our regional language, Marathi, and we're expected that by the time we're out of that school at 10th grade, we will be all well versed in English. But our families were not into that space of speaking English. Okay, thankfully mine were. My mother was a teacher, so she used to speak English, but not to the fluency that probably somebody would want to expect, that I would be doing it with my child. But that was not the case with my parents. And wherever you go, they're going to speak in the regional language there. Now, I moved up the grade from 10th to 11th and 12th, same village, same second school that I went to. And then all of a sudden, I came to Mumbai for my graduation. The first day, I stumble into the class of 60 girls uh, who are looking at me because they've had their orientation. I was a couple of days late for my, not for my admission, but to figure out the living arrangements and all. I walk into the classroom. The first session, like I said, all 3 years, mathematics was my first lecture. So I walk into that classroom. Everybody is seated. I filled in the formality, collected my I-card, walked into the class, and the teacher, I'm the last person to enter the room. So the teacher now tells me, Kripali, we have a new student, Kripali, why don't you introduce yourself? And I cried there. Okay. I could not speak a single sentence, let alone in English. I couldn't introduce myself in Marathi. I couldn't introduce myself in Hindi. I couldn't speak. I was there, I was standing there. At the end of a couple of minutes, she said, okay, please go ahead and take the seat. She formed an opinion, probably, that I have yet another student who's going to go and sit in the back seat. Okay. Now, the difference that I decided to make that first day when I cried and I got the seat and I was sitting there, and then I decided to kind of, take that decision that I'm going to change this. I'm going to make sure that I will not yet again stutter, stammer, cry, be absent, and not have anything to speak after this particular day. And it wasn't my surprise. I worked for it, and I made a conscious choice and effort to participate in different college events, into different events which allowed me to speak and present. And that was something which helped me build my next topic, communication skills. I ensured that it helped me communicate, converse with people that I don't know. I went into the rooms presenting different topics, different presentations, whether it's formal, informal, to lead the college events, to ensure that there is a college event happening. I'm going to do a comparing or moderating of some sort, because I knew that nobody's going to come and tell me that improve your language by reading this or by listening to that person, or doing that. But I knew that I'm going to speak it out, I'm going to practice, and that's what is going to help me out. So, the first, or maybe the second rule, the first is my confidence and my attitude towards building my personality, because that responsibility is mine alone. Second is building the communication skills. There are ways to build communication skills today. You have so many online classes which are free. You can go to libraries, you can buy books, you can rent books, you can read different books, and I've done that all. And trust me, it works. When I read books, I know that there are words that I don't understand, but I will make that conscious effort to go and look at the dictionary. What does it mean? Can I use it in a sentence next time? And can I build my vocabulary? Because that's going to help me. I mean, if I have to hold a conversation for an hour that I'm doing with you, how many fillers am I going to use? Am I going to use less fillers or more fillers? And I've done that. I have watched myself speak. I've recorded myself over the years and see that how many fillers do I use? Do I have any habits which are kind of like, seem very weird, or seem like making me conscious, or it kind of brings out that I am unsure or not really confident in that particular place. So can I improve upon that? So what do you think that today, while you are in this session, how would you rate your communication skill? And I'm not talking about fluency of English. I am talking about communication skill. Take a language of your choosing. Can you briefly talk about yourself for 5 minutes without giving it a thought? How well can you communicate with someone that I meet you in person today, or I we do a one-on-one conversation here right now? Can you talk about the course that you're doing? Can you talk about the family background? Can you talk about something, any language of your choosing? What do you think, or how would you rate on the scale of 1 to 5 your own communication skills at the moment? Let's put it on the chat. So 1 being low, 5 being high, and I'm saying that I stand somewhere around 4. I have a lot of scope of improvement. Okay, but I still say that I'm 4. Oh, we have Vignesh, we have Muhammad Ziad. I mean, kudos to you folks to actually mention a 1 and a 2, and that's not a bad start. I was minus when I started. Okay, great. So, see. do you think that let's take an analogy of somebody that we all know. That do you think that Sachin Tendulkar became what Sachin Tendulkar is today, or was, or maybe Virat Kohli, or any other idol that you're talking about, that that person became the way that they are out there communicating, out there playing, scoring runs, taking wickets, whatever. I'm taking an example of cricket because I'm sure so many of us relate to cricket more than football or a basketball game or something else, right? So, consistency is key. And thank you, folks. You have a scope. We all have a scope from going from a negative to a zero. And a zero does not mean nothing. Okay. If I say I'm zero, it means that I can communicate. I'm just haven't opened my mouth yet. So a zero to a one to a two to a three, four, or a five. All of us can do that. All we need is discipline. So the next in line for us to communicate or to build our personality is discipline. We can be accidental something. We can be accidental engineers because our parents wanted us to be. We can be accidental project managers because somehow somebody in the course of my career thought that, oh, great, be a project manager. Somebody of us could be teachers. Somebody of us could be like really learned people as well. Could be accidental or not. But one thing that is common in everyone is discipline. So, how many of you have gym membership or do some sort of workout or play sports or do anything, any kind of physical activity? I'm talking about physical activity. Okay. If you do, just put a yes in the chat. I'm a no too, don't worry. And I'll tell you why I'm a no. Okay, great. We have some yeses as well. All right. So the reason why I'm asking this. So those who play sports, those who go to gym, those who do some kind of physical activity, they have one thing in different, in difference than the ones like me who don't do anything. Okay, you can call me lazy. Okay, or maybe I can quote it that, oh, I'm super busy. I don't have time. Everybody has time. Everybody has 15 minutes in the day to be active, to do something. But what lacks is discipline and is consistency. I showed up yesterday. I'm not showing up today, but I'm showing up tomorrow. It's still consistency, right? And it's not about consistent every single day. I can do, like, let's say, a breathing exercise for 5 minutes, but today. But yesterday I did 15 minutes of, let's say, yoga. I did like 30 minutes of running tomorrow. It's still consistency. It's not about one single exercise that I'm doing, but I am consistent in being active. And right now I'm a no because I'm not consistent. I haven't moved my body other than getting up, doing some house chores, going to office for a very long time, and that's not very good for our health as well. And and I think talking to you folks, I'm going to do that. But yeah, so that brings us to consistency one as one of the other thumb rules. Now, what does grooming mean, right? I decide to wear clean clothes. I decide to ensure that my hair is neat and tidy, whether I let it down, whether however I want to dress up. It's not about makeup. It's not about new clothes. Okay. It's not about anything. I have longer nails. Okay. Example, females. Mostly we will have longer nails. Do I have them clean? That's important. For males, for all the guys on the call, it's important that, if you've decided to shave your beard, do that. If you decided to keep it, at least groom it nicely, because when you meet somebody else, then at that particular time your appearance is something that the other person is noting down, and the cleanliness and personal hygiene comes out before anything else. Nobody is judging us that am I wearing a 500 rupee shirt or a 5000 rupee shirt. The brands come later, they don't even matter. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm sure that every single time that I walk into a space, I am going to be presentable. It doesn't matter what I wear, what I do. So, personal hygiene, the appearance that I have, the dressing sense that I carry, that's something that I'm going to work on. All of us here on the call, we can make that decision for ourselves, and it's only for us. It's not for the other person, it's not for our parents, our siblings, our friends, no one. We can make sure that we can probably make that promise to ourselves that if I want to go from my personality side from a 1 to a 5, I'm going to make a consistent effort in small things. I'm going to ensure that I increase my vocabulary. I'm going to be sure that I'm going to start talking in front of mirror. Nobody's watching you, but talking in front of mirror, I know that how I look when I speak. Do I do some kind of eye twitching? Do I do like nose? Do I touch anything? Do I touch my face too much? Do I itch myself? I'm not going to do all of that if I'm watching in the mirror. I'm going to make sure that I don't do it. Right? That's a conscious, consistent effort that we are doing. And next, we're going to maintain a personal hygiene. This one last small topic before I take a pause for any kind of questions that you folks have, and you can unmute and you can ask. The last topic is the digital space that we are into. All of us have Insta accounts, all of us have Facebook accounts, all of us have XYZ accounts. I mean, X as in Twitter, but X as in anything else as well, could be, right? We have YouTubes, and what uh, it gives us power. It gives us power to put in comments, to put our opinions and views, and we don't think that the opinions, views, comments that we are putting on somebody's Insta post is a person as well. Okay, could be a chatbot, but somebody is reading it and somebody is going to relate to that digital, space. So what is the final thumb rule that we are going to work with is etiquettes, whether it's in person or whether it's digital space. We are going to have and carry that etiquette of being polite, of being true to ourselves. And we don't need arrogance. We don't need any kind of, you know, that kind of aura that says that, oh my God, you have written something shoddy. I don't, okay, you don't agree to that post. You don't agree to their views. Walk away. Nobody's asking you to, put something bad on that note. Why do I say this? Why is it important? Because in the times where everything is digital, everything is connected, your chat GPTs, your Google Geminis, and your Claudes, and God knows how many AI agents out there are scraping the internet for your comments, views, and forming your personality. And do you think that your recruiters won't be doing that? I mean, look at a small example. I'm here. You guys are looking at my LinkedIn, right? If I start putting some comments around the war that's happening between US and Iran, and I have some explosive views, even before talking to me, you're going to judge me. Oh, this person is not that great. Her views are so ballistic. I mean, she is. Does she even know the political state? Does she even know what she is talking about? Right. So that brings us to probably uh, my end of talking for all of this time really is we maintain etiquettes, whether it's our personal space, physical space, whether it's online, whether it's digital, whether it's written, whether it's verbal, whether it's uh, you know I would say that even a non-communicative way of expressions as well, that I want to create my personality as a pleasant personality and understanding yet an assertive personality when I talk to you. And that's how we want to go out there in the world. We all will become knowledgeable. We all studying. We're all doing things that will enrich our experience, our knowledge, our what do you call it, the notes that are there in my head, probably because today while I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking about all of these things. 5 years down the line, my opinions might be a little different. They may not change. I might be more 4.5 in terms of communication. I'm 4 right now. I might be 4.5, still with a scope that I can learn a lot of things. I meet a person, that person is amazing conversationalist, right? And I would want to be that person. I would take notes, I would learn. And nobody's asking you to do handwritten notes. So we're going to make that conscious effort of being aware, being disciplined, being consistent, improving our communication skills. I'm going to have etiquettes across, no matter what space I'm in, whether somebody is looking at me or not. And I am going to be conscious of the way that I am presenting myself out there in the world. What's stopping us from having great personalities then? I'm going to take a pause here now. I think we're open for questions. You can unmute. You have an opinion to share. You have a question to ask. Uh, Please feel free.
Thanks, Kripali, for the inputs. I think there's a Zia. He has asked a question.
Okay. I'm logged in from my phone. Is it possible that somebody reads out the question?
Sure. So Siad says that even in digital space, that's online apps, many of many of many of them judge us by our comments very easily than in person. Sometimes it makes me think, is it necessary to share an opinion or comment as what he's telling?
Um, so just because, okay, that's a great question, and maybe that's something that I was pointing out to as well. I post something and people will have varied opinions. I'm talking to you, everybody is going to have varied opinions, and the digital space, there are people who are putting in comments, and you have a comment to make as well, right? So you have an opinion. Does it mean that you should restrict yourself and not give an opinion? Of course you have. We live in a democracy. We have full right to give our opinion. All we should do is probably think that, like I mentioned, there could be a person opposite who is reading those comments, could be feeling hurt, could be feeling happy, could be feeling sad, could be feeling very excited about what we are writing. So let's just maintain etiquette in putting those comments and those opinions out assertively, and probably maintaining the etiquette that I am not deliberately going to hurt someone. If I don't like something which is online, is it really required that I put some hurtful comments on that particular post or that particular app or something? Maybe not, right? I could become the bigger person and walk away. Maybe. But that's my opinion. Now, that could be different into different scenarios, and you should definitely speak up. Speaking up, standing for yourself, standing for the opinions you carry is very, very important. I hope that somewhat answers the question. It's not a very direct answer, I know that. But yeah, I would just say that it's something that the opinion that you carry.
A quick time check. We just have 12 minutes more to go. And any other questions from others? I think parallelly, I think so. Jay, you had posted a quiz. I think people can take the quiz. In the meantime, if no one has a question, then I think I have one or two more comments or questions to add here. And Saraswati, maybe you can, in the meantime, take the photograph of all of us also. Okay, so maybe you would want us to be on camera to take the photo, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Kripali, thanks a lot for all the inputs. Um, we have students joining from different parts of the country and the state actually,
Yeah.
and most of us are having a very simple background.
Yes.
Now, where would the starting point be for the students? So, as you know already, the students are basically in different levels, like I mean, first year to final year. And then
Yeah.
what is your suggestion? What is your guidance? Where can they get started from personally with very less or with an inexpensive input, something
Absolutely.
back at home? Yeah,
So,
please.
I think we all come from humble backgrounds, right? And it doesn't matter where we are right now, but our beginnings have always been humble. So I would say that, like I mentioned, consistent. If you have to be consistent into developing this whole personality of yours, you need to make just a conscious effort that I you have to be present every single day, ensuring that the way you present out yourself, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what you wear, but what you wear, you're confident about that. And we always dress for occasions. The way we dress in college versus for interviews and for offices could be very, very different. So dress for the occasion, and communicate, increase your vocabulary. So you have library accesses, you have magazines, you have newspapers, right? Read them, understand that how can you utilize those words into your vocabulary while you speak. Practice with your friends, practice with your college teachers. I mean, that's a good start for you folks, that you can start conversing with your teachers. Try asking them questions, put out your opinions into the way that you want other person to listen to. And the best way, we all have mirrors in our house, in our college washrooms, in, let's say, your any kind of spaces where there's a reflective surface, you can see yourself. Why don't you see yourself, not just how my face is looking today, but when I speak? Go out there, you're in different probably years of your college. So when you have a viva, a oral exam, I don't know what you guys call it, we used to call it a viva. So that in itself is a good start, that practice in front of a mirror, which is a good starting point, that you know how you speak and you know what needs a correction. Do you make a lot of hand gestures, do you make a lot of other gestures? So that could be a good helping and a starting point for us all to improve our personalities.
Great, thank you. Thanks for the answer. So, any other questions? Please feel free to either type. Yeah. So, Jay, you can ask the question as well. You have typed, but then you can unmute and then ask as well. So, Jay has asked, we have discussed to play sports or going to gym is helpful to develop personalities. Many of us don't follow properly, and how will we overcome this? This is question.
So having a healthy lifestyle is important. It's not about going to gym. It's not about even playing sports. Do you walk? Like, can you walk 15 minutes a day? That's a habit that you're building. Now, how is it going to help you? Is I am going to be physically fit. I am going to be healthy. And that is going to bring out the kind of personality which is positive in nature. That's all it's doing, right? We're not asking you go out there, play cricket and football, or take a 15,000 rupees membership for the gym. You don't need it. You walk every day to college. That could be a workout. Or I make a conscious choice of walking 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day. I am doing my house chores. I want to get milk from a shop. I'm not going to take my scooty. I'm just going to walk, right? Could be those things as well. Those little habits could create a lot of difference in the way that you see yourself. Because I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be, excited, motivated, to do that particular activity every single day, because that's the conscious effort that I'm doing. And at the end of the day, I think I'm going to feel good about myself. So why not? Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay.
Jay, would you want to talk about the quiz that you are parallelly triggering? Jay, you are on mute if you're talking. Okay, so Jay has posted a link to the quiz in the chat for everyone. Okay, and we would just request all the participants to take the. It's a very simple quiz. Okay, and then there's more actually um, just to keep you more interactive, and then to have some of the concepts that we have learned today to get registered in our subconscious mind. This things like this is definitely going to help. I'm just reposting the quiz, so it's a form of Google Forms, so people can just go ahead and then they can just take. We just have still some time, and then so it will be great if you are able to finish. And is there any in the meantime? Is there anyone who would want to give a feedback, ask any questions? The floor is open to you. You can either type here in the chat because some of them are traveling back from college to home, and so I think that's the reason why they are not able to open their mics and talk. So in that case, you
Okay.
can just put it in the chat here, or we'll be more than happy to see you over camera and then um, see you over camera and then ask the question. Okay, so either ways it works. Nothing coming through in the chat. Okay, so any comments from anyone? Anyone would want to share their experience listening through Kripali talking on the topic today? Okay, there's some messages coming in. Okay, then I can just quickly. Okay, so Jay says it's very informative message. Great, thanks. Okay, so I would just quickly take over for an vote of thanks and summary. Okay, so it, so winners he says that really helpful to improve ourselves. That's another comment that we have.
No,
Okay.
thank you, everyone. It's really a humbling experience for me to speak to you all, and it's really important that small things make a lot of difference. That's all we got to remember. And all the best to you, everyone on the call.
Yeah, everyone have a lot of dreams. Okay, you can just when you are connecting next time, then you can get to hear the big dreams coming true. Actually, that's what we keep when we meet them in person. Then we just get to see that people have leaped in bounds actually and achieving their dreams. So it's very interesting when we talk to them. So all of these sessions that you have been educating us on, giving inputs on, is going to help us. Thanks a lot, Kripali, for the session. It was very informative. Thanks for taking so much of time and preparing for the content. So it was very excellent, very good session. So from the responses that we get from the chat, we definitely know that the students, the participants are able to connect with you the way that they comment, that the way that they ask questions. That itself shows that the message is quite clear, and then the content is quite connecting. It's very important content. We do understand, okay, and for sure we will just follow the tips that you have been sharing us. So what was more important for us also was that your personal experience when you say that you also had to groom yourself and then it didn't come naturally. So that's what we students would definitely would strive and then achieve. Like what you said, it's not going to come naturally to all of us. So you just
Yeah.
have to groom it, and then that's the only way out. No shortcut for that. So
Yes,
we very
absolutely.
clearly understand that. And when an experienced people like you, when they say it carries a lot of meaning, and then the impact is much more actually. Okay, so thanks a lot. We will definitely meet you again in one more session. Okay, to share
Sure.
more experiences on a different topic. Thank you very much. Then, okay, we would uh,
Thank you.
thank you and then close the call for today. Then,
Thank you.
Great. Thank
thanks a
you.
lot. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.